Well, everybody, we're Gary and I's in a big job today. Big job today, Gary.
Always a big job, boy.
We brought an almost new trailer for a trailer check.
Well work done.
Well work done. Alwyn says he loves seeing us at this time in the evening. It's a handy few quid, but we literally brought up the Broughan and we put a bit of weight on it. We've put her through what Alwyn would call a commercial standard of a check, and
There's a call out.
how long this is Alwyn's phone here. So where were we, Gary? We brought this up to, we brought the Broughan up and the fin just up, put 3 ton of weight over the axles, which is the sort of standard.
For testing now.
Alwyn runs, that's what he runs, the PSV. So we put the Broughan through the same idea as a commercial check sheet, which we actually think is very important and something that should be done regularly. All granted, we've no choice when it comes to HGVs. It's mandatory.
That's
6,
mandatory,
8,
but that's just,
10, 12-week checks.
I think it's good practice, but isn't it?
I think so, very much so. I mean, at the end of the day, the Broughan trailer there, everything she's doing as she's meant to do, but there is a little trailer outside that has been traded in. It's being sold on by Jared Kennedy, and they've asked Alwyn to put a complete set of brakes in her. So we're assuming she's not in the same condition. She's got a bit of age about her.
She's done a bit of work.
She's done a bit of work, so you know that's good, responsible business too. Making sure she's going out, brakes and all right on her. So we're going to get a wee look at that now. So basically we're looking at nice new trailer. Okay, it's 2-year-old now, but it hasn't done that much work. And just making sure everything's right. Then we're going to take a wee look at the other, and Alwyn, as we have now dubbed him, Crazy Camp, is flat out on the job. But it's good to show it. We thought you might want to see it.
It gives you a bit of peace of mind with the thing. Like, you know it's braking properly. You know that there's, like, means you're wearing your brakes even as well. You know, it's efficiency too at the end of the day.
Efficiency's up over 50% there.
Aye. But you're not having to put a set of brakes in the trailer because she's not working one of them.
That's right.
You know, it's cost effective too. Like, you know, keeps your tyres from getting, you know, no point in flat spotting a tyre. That could be a very expensive lesson.
Absolutely.
You know, so.
Okay, Gary, you hear me?
Yeah.
Brakes off.
Brakes off, go ahead.
Starting rollers. Go ahead, Gary, start braking and nice and slowly right to the floor. Keep going, Gary, right onto the floor. Lovely, that's okay. Go ahead, Gary, go ahead. That one's looking good. Keep going, keep going, keep going. That one there came up at 69%, so the overall there is over 100%. The average of it is 66 plus 40 for the 2 axles would leave you at in around 50%, so that's more than adequate.
Is she anything like the thing, Alwyn?
Overall efficiency 54%.
Wee bit high, but
No, efficiency. So as imbalance is all good.
Oh,
First X is a wee bit low on them, a wee bit lower in efficiency and higher on imbalance, but it's well within the tolerance, and we still have a 54% efficiency load. At the end of the day, we only have 3 tons simulated, so that's more than adequate, so it is for the purposes of a brake test.
ultimately we're sitting with a agricultural trailer there.
Yes.
But would that be meeting the commercial standard that you'd be checking to?
That's me meeting it till the commercial standard. That's over and above. So that's the efficiency would go up more and the imbalance would come down if we come in here at full load. So that's there with 14 ton on her. Everything would be better, but for the purposes of a test, for the purposes of doing their inspection, that's well within its parameters, so it is.
Yes. We made the live video and people had a real interest on it with Jimmy's low loader.
Yes, that's
like
right.
Jimmy's
Yep,
low loader.
that's right.
But people were giving off, not a true commercial test. You haven't any weight on it.
Yep, yep.
Well,
Yeah,
the weight's on it now.
That's the weight. You don't need any more than that. That's what we run for PSV. We run with 3 ton to go to a commercial test at PSV. That's all they require, and it's more than adequate. So it is. But you have to. Yeah, it gives you a better efficiency. So it does. As you can see.
What you're telling me is, in our Broughan trailer, brakes are good.
Yep.
What are you checking next?
Next check, we're going to bring our fork. We put on the shaker plates, check spring eye bushings, and check the wheel bearings.
But we're not expecting much wrong with this trailer because it's not done a lot of work.
Not done a lot of work. But at the end of the day, this is what you have to do. It should be done as a 6-month cycle, even from new. The best stuff coming out new can have a slack wheel bearing. It can have a faulty bush after 6 months. I have seen all the things. There's nothing is 100%. That's why it's good to do the checks. So
right, keep her lit.
Okay. Hey Guy, go ahead forward. Next axle onto the shaker plates there. Here we're going. Wee bit more. Brake on. We're doing spring eye bushings. Spring eye bush. Spring eye bush and spring eye bush. As we thought, not a lot wrong. We're also checking the U-bolts here and here on a new tiller like this. It's no rusty marks is usually a good indication that there's nothing slack, but it's good to do a visual on it. We're also checking the brake pipes up and over, air here, hydraulic there. Okay, Guy, brake off. We'll go again, XL2. We're doing here. Again, trunnion bush up here, checking for wear, checking it's not broke, seen those black, the bolts in the odd time. That's 100%. There, we'll just do the lights a wee second there while you're there. Go ahead, indicator left, indicator right, and brake lights on. Okay, brake lights off. That's okay, just stop her there and switch off your lights there. Thank you. Okay. Just to be doubly sure there, that's why we do it with the bar, just to make sure that's okay. Go to the far side. Okay, right, Matthew, go ahead. That's okay. Just checking there for the wheel bearing. Okay, that's it, no bother. So you're looking there, electric connectors, wires, all okay. Nothing broke, nothing out of the ordinary. No signs of any rust, dirty marks. Then you're checking chassis for cracks. On this here, we wouldn't be expecting to get any cracks, right enough. Good strong beam. She'll stand a decent load donkey, so she will.
Should need to.
Should need to, that's right. So, that's all okay, right?
But they're not all like this, all.
Oh no, this is heaven. This is a nice easy one. So there's a few easy pound at 5 o'clock in the evening.
Hey, steady now.
We're checking the wire rope for the handbrake. So it is there. It's actually there. No, it's all intact. Nothing wrong with it. Again, up on this tiller because she's there. You want to check this here. Make sure that the water.
There's no water.
So there's no water. Good clean air.
What happens if there's water? What does that mean?
Water's only contamination is going to contaminate your valves, give you problems down the line. So it is. On lorries, it would be more susceptible to water and the air system, but the tractors, you don't usually find an awful lot of water. But a tank sitting like this condensates inside. So from the condensation inside the tank, that would be enough to, you have to let it out. It's better to be out and away and keep the air as dry as possible. You want to check, very important bit here, checking your drawbar anchor, both sides, so it has grease. We'll come back to grease that later. We'll grease the axles later on once we get all the checks done. Forward to here, we want to check our spring on the hatch. So because it's a sprung drawbar, want to make sure everything's in place as it should be, nothing hanging slack, no wear between the side plates. So it has, the bolts are tight on the bottom. Check your skid, make sure that's okay, and whenever we're in here, a good wee look in round the bottom of the hatch ring, because the hatch ring there, all the pressure's on it, so you want to check, make sure that that's no cracks, no visible damage of any sort. So it has, handbrake, all okay there, and back end, finish the chassis on this tiller. That's pretty much, mostly everything's done. The only things left to do, torque the wheels and we'll grease her and make sure that all's, and check the tyre pressures as a good, we'll do those while we're at it. So see there, and doing the wheel torquing, we've got at least there on this one wheel, there's 5 so far. That took a little bit. That's just shows you that there was a case, even for the new trailer, that was really good. She needed wheel torqued. Light plug, no corrosion, no damage, cable intact. We're then going to take off the yellow airline. Want to check that the O-ring and the inside is okay. Collar's free, all serviceable. Also the red line, very important. There's no sharp edges on that there, because that'll distort the seal on the back of the tractor. Common problem, this here gets chopped off the ground, chopped off the arms, and damages the edge of these. If these are damaged, they should be replaced immediately, because they will damage the O-ring, and then that causes the leaks. Okay, on the specs of this here, we're looking for U-bolts. A bit crusty, but they're tight. Tight. Tight, tight. They've got an issue here, look. Broken spring. Somebody's done a repair on it. Here, temporary to get it here. We're checking the shackle bushings on the idler. Should all sound there, all sound there. Wee bit of an issue here with the rams. As we can see here, the rams are fully out, rusted solid, all 4 of them. Not possible to repair. This one here moves a wee bit, so it is. This one's rusted solid. So that's, and look, another spring broke, second spring under broke here. So, been a quite nifty repair to get her treated in there, boys. The usual thing. Crash rails along the side of her here need replaced. Those will not stop a cyclist from getting trapped in below a wheel. Those will have to be in the sharp edges. Very important. A lot of farmers don't see that a sharp edge like this, oh sure, it's only a bit of box iron, but it's actually going to take the leg off someday. And if you look this side, it's not here. So it's not, so, and we've a light here, and it's not here either. So there's not a lot to let a motorist see that there's a trailer on the back of this tractor once it's going down the road. We've got a burst hydraulic pipe here, so we'll have to replace that. Brakes, I am suspicious, are because of the rams being fully out, that's usually a good indication that the brakes are completely done. Chassis, all good and sound. Well, it is a Herron after all, so it is. I wouldn't be expecting it to be anything else other than sound. Rope hooks, all good from in below. After that, coming to the rear, we're looking good, strong tiller. That's scabby and a wee bit rusty, but that's only to be expected from a trailer the age it is. But it's just strong enough. Coming to the rear, checking her over. We have lights. We have a panel here that wants to fall off. We'll modify it, cut it off because it could fall off going down the road. The next thing then it's into somebody's windscreen. Tyres are all looking good for an agricultural trailer. They're transporting a digger. The tyres are very good actually. So basically, a couple of springs, a couple of hydraulic pipes, a few rams, some brakes, and if we had that all, should be fit for a bit more life, so she would.
A very important point I wanted to pick up on. If this was one of our commercial trailers,
Yes.
I know it's a tractor trailer, but if this was one of our commercial trailers that belonged to us, came in for this inspection, you would be legally bound. You
Yes.
couldn't release that
No,
to us.
we wouldn't be releasing that
You
trailer.
wouldn't, but legally.
No, by legally we're not. We have to make you sign that you are taking full responsibility, but the onus is on us because we have inspected it. We have deemed it not roadworthy, so it is for whatever the reasons may be. So it is, and it may be the brakes are bad, but the hydraulic pipe burst on the brakes is number one thing. The brakes can't work. The brakes are seized. The brakes are done. So like that trailer isn't safe to be on the road. We'll have to go to the diary and see if when we can pencil in a bit more. I was expecting just a nice wee set of brakes, but it's not going to just be as nice as a set of brakes.